It is departure to be one of the largest projects always taken in Antarctica. UK and US scientists will conduct a 5-year force to inspect the sustainability of the powerful Thwaites Icehouse. The ice flow in the western of the mainland is compared in amount to Britain. It is smelting and is now in fast refuge, account for about 4% of world ocean level growth, and somehow has dual with the medium 1990s. Researchers wish to aware if Thwaites could crash. Were it to do so, its loose ice would shove up the oceans by 80 sm or more than. Down there is yet a issue in my type as to if Thwaites has in fact introduced an permanent refuge, told Professor David Vaughan, the CEO of Scientific at the UK Antarctic Examination. The World Thwaites Icehouse Cooperation, ITGC, is the two nations' largest coup enterprise on the White's mainland for more than rather than 70 years, with the end of a map draft on the Antarctic Peninsula in the deceased 1940s. Grants for study totaling £20 million include been decorated. One day the expenses of transportation and replenishment to the remotest of regions is factored in, the full importance of the ITGC will perhaps top £40 million. Thwaites is a sea-terminating icehouse. Snows drop on Earth and these small in ice how later fluid out to ocean. While in balance sheet the number of snowing at the icehouse's chief matches the ice loose to the sea at its front line via the calving of icebergs. But Thwaites is out of balance sheet. It has accelerated up and is now flow at above 4 km per year. It is as well dilution at a bet of nearly 40 sm a year. While we see at the historic Sputnik recording we can see how the dilution begun following 2000, propagating internal at a bet of 10-12 km/year at its fastest, explainable Dr. Anna Hogg of Leeds College. So on Thwaites Icehouse, the growth in ice rate has coincided in a time of fast ice dilution, and ground link refuge, that suggests how the observable changes may include been inflicted by hot sea water supply achieving the icehouse and accelerator ice molten. The ground link refers to the area wherever the icehouse enters the sea and open up to shape a cheerful plate of ice pack. If hot sea lower waters are capable to get by the shelf, the ground link can be eroded and the icehouse constrained ago though if regional air temperature are submarine zero. Key to the trial in the instance of Thwaites is how a big proportion of the ice flow sits under sea standard, in the fate bed inclined behind to the mainland. The can make which scientists relate to as sea ice leaf insecurity, an essentially volatile architectural, that, one day knocked together, can go in an permanent decrease. This some trial we're worried on is thing named sea ice precipice insecurity, told Dr. Ted Scambos, the main coordinate inspector on the U.S. party of the draft of the Domestic Snowing and Ice Information Center. The is wherever a high precipice how might shape at the front line of the icehouse begins to calve, begins to break down off, in a fugitive vogue. It hasn't been seen yet in the portion of Antarctica, it might be this in several components of the Antarctic Peninsula, but about Greenland seems to be a way to a really fast refuge of the ice front line. The ITGC urged to define how all of the will act out for Thwaites. Its scientists will map the ice flows each behavior. They will display the way sea water supply moves under the float shelf, and drill bit sediments of by and fair in front line of the icehouse to discover out which it did for history heating events on land. Seals will as well be helping the study. Professor Karen Haywood of the College of East Anglia, work in tandem in St Andrews College, will be joining sensors to the heads of the animals. Professor Vaughan told how time the UK and America were guideline the draft, he mind some countries would wish to get implicated. Financing of NERC and NSF has set the boat train in movement, but I completely wait some nations now to accede their carriages.